Good morning, all. Welcome to mathematics class of grade 8, and today I am here with lecture number 3 of chapter number 3, Understanding Quadrilaterals. Topics which I am going to discuss in this lecture are: firstly, we shall recapitulate about the sum of interior angles of an n-sided polygon. What is the sum of exterior angles of a polygon? Then kinds of quadrilateral. Under this we have studied about parallelogram. So we will be recapitulating about that. Then further in detail we shall discuss the kinds of quadrilaterals. In the kinds of quadrilaterals, we are supposed to deal in detail about parallelogram. We shall study about some special parallelograms like rectangle, rhombus and square. Then we shall move further to trapezium, then kite, and we shall discuss questions of exercise 3.3, and at the end of this lecture I shall discuss homework solutions of exercise 3.2. So let us start firstly with the recapitulation of previous concepts. So let us recall now what is the measure of sum of all interior angles of n-sided polygon. So this is given by the formula n minus 2 into 180 degrees, where n are the number of sides of a polygon. If we are supposed to find the measurement of each interior angle of an n-sided polygon, then this formula is to be divided by n. So it will be n minus 2 into 180 degrees divided by n. Then we have studied about sum of exterior angles of a polygon, that equals 360 degrees. So if I need to find measurement of one exterior angle, so each exterior angle measures 360 degrees divided by n, where n are the number of sides. After that, we have studied about quadrilateral. What is a quadrilateral? Quadrilateral definition we have studied. A four-sided polygon is known as a quadrilateral. Under this, we have studied about parallelogram. So what is a parallelogram? Let us see the definition of parallelogram. So what is a parallelogram? A quadrilateral in which both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel is called a parallelogram. This is what I am making a parallelogram. This is A, B, C, D. Then we have studied about the properties of parallelogram. These two sides are parallel and these two sides are parallel. The very first property is opposite sides of a parallelogram are of equal length. That is AB is equal to DC. BC is equal to AD. Then the second property is opposite angles of a parallelogram are of equal measurement. That is angle A will be equal to angle C. Angle B is equal to angle D. Then third property is the adjacent angles of a parallelogram are supplementary. It means angle A plus angle B is equal to 180 degrees. Likewise for all others adjacent angles. Then the last property we have studied, the diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. These are the two diagonals and this point is O. So AO is equal to CO and BO is equal to DO or OD. So these are the properties of parallelograms which we have discussed in the previous lecture. Let us move now to the main topic of today's lecture. Let us discuss now some special parallelograms. Firstly, we shall discuss about rectangle. So firstly, we should know what is a rectangle. If one angle of a parallelogram is a right angle, then it is called a rectangle. So if one angle of a parallelogram is a right angle, then it is called a rectangle. So we can make the figure of rectangle. This is a rectangle A, B, C, D. Angle A is equal to 90°. So it is a rectangle. Now let us talk about the properties of rectangle. Since every rectangle is a parallelogram, therefore it has all the properties of parallelogram, but there are few additional properties also. What are these additional properties? All the interior angles of a rectangle are right angles. It means angle A is equal to angle B is equal to angle C is equal to angle D is equal to 90 degrees. So all the angles in a rectangle are of 90 degree. Second property is the diagonals of a rectangle are equal. It means the diagonal AC is equal to diagonal BD. So what are the additional properties of rectangle? Angle A is equal to angle B is equal to angle C is equal to angle D is equal to 90 degree. And the second additional property is the diagonals of a rectangle are equal. That is diagonal AC is equal to diagonal BD. Let us talk about now rhombus and its properties. Now talking about rhombus and its properties. Firstly, the definition of rhombus. If two adjacent sides of a parallelogram are equal, then it is called a rhombus. So if two adjacent sides of a parallelogram are equal, then it is called a rhombus. So we can make like this. This is a rhombus I am making. In this figure, AB is equal to BC. AB is equal to BC. So ABCD is a rhombus. Now, since every rhombus is a parallelogram, therefore it has all the properties of a parallelogram. Now, there are few additional properties of rhombus. So let us see what are those properties. Additional properties. The very first property is all the sides of a rhombus are equal. It means AB is equal to BC is equal to CD is equal to DA. So this is the first additional property of a rhombus, that all the sides of a rhombus are equal. That is AB is equal to BC is equal to CD is equal to DA. Let us talk about now second property. The diagonals of a rhombus are perpendicular bisectors of one another. These are the two diagonals. They are the perpendicular bisector of one another. So AC is perpendicular to BD. They are perpendicular bisectors of one another. And the third property is the diagonals bisect the angles of rhombus. So in this diagram, diagonal AC bisects angle A as well as angle C. And diagonal BD bisects angle B as well as angle D. So these are the three additional properties. AB, first property is AB is equal to BC is equal to CD is equal to DA. Second property is the diagonals of a rhombus are perpendicular bisectors of one another. Third property is the diagonals of a rhombus bisect the angles of rhombus. So these are the additional properties of rhombus. Let us talk about now square. So the definition of square is if two adjacent sides of a rectangle are equal. I am making a rectangle. If two adjacent sides of a rectangle are equal, then it is called a square. Or we can say if one angle of a rhombus is a right angle, then it is a square. So A, B, C and D. This is a square. Now in this rectangle, AB is equal to BC, so it is a square. Now the properties of square, since every square is a parallelogram, therefore it has all the properties of a parallelogram, but there are few additional properties also. Let us talk about now additional properties of square. The very first property is all the interior angles of a square are right angles. It means angle A is equal to angle B is equal to angle C is equal to angle D, that is equal to 90 degrees. So angle A is equal to angle B equal to angle C is equal to angle D is equal to 90 degrees. Let us talk about now second property. Second property states all the sides of a square are equal. It means AB is equal to BC is equal to CD is equal to DA. Now third property, the diagonals of a square are equal. It means AC diagonal is equal to diagonal BD. And then we have next property. Next property is the diagonals of a square are perpendicular bisectors of one another. That is AC diagonal is perpendicular to BD. Then after that, the diagonals bisects the angles of rhombus or square. The diagonals bisect the angles of a square. So in this diagram, diagonal AC bisects angle A and as well as angle C, and diagonal BD bisects angle B as well as angle D. So we can say that square has the properties of parallelogram, has the properties of rectangle as well as rhombus. So the properties of square, rectangle and rhombus come under the properties of square along with the properties of parallelogram. So I hope, dear children, you have understood the properties of some special parallelograms, that is rectangle, rhombus and square. Now let us talk about trapezium. So firstly, let us see the definition. A quadrilateral in which one pair of opposite sides is parallel. That quadrilateral is called trapezium. So a quadrilateral in which one pair of opposite sides is parallel is called a trapezium. I can make a trapezium. I am making a trapezium. You can see now. Now you can see these two sides are parallel, that is AB, CD. This is a trapezium. So AB is parallel to DC. So ABCD is a trapezium. The parallel sides are called the bases of trapezium. So these are the These are called the bases of trapezium. Now let us talk about the properties of trapezium. Now in this diagram, angle A plus angle D is equal to 180 degree. Angle A plus angle B is equal to, angle D is equal to 180 degrees, and angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degrees. So these are the properties of a trapezium. So let us talk about now isosceles trapezium. The definition of isosceles trapezium is if two non-parallel sides of a trapezium are equal, then it is called an isosceles trapezium. So, if two non-parallel sides of a trapezium are equal, then it is called an isosceles trapezium. Let us see now the figure of this isosceles trapezium. So this is an isosceles trapezium A, B, C, D. Now in this, AB is parallel to DC and AD is equal to BC. So ABCD is an isosceles trapezium. As the definition goes, if two non-parallel sides of a trapezium are equal, then it is called an isosceles trapezium. So in this, AB is parallel to DC and AD, these are two non-parallel sides, so these are equal. So this is an isosceles trapezium. Now let us see the properties of isosceles trapezium. The very first property is angle A plus angle D is equal to 180 degrees, as it was the property of trapezium also, and angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degrees. The second property is angles on the same base are equal. It means angle A is equal to angle B and angle C is equal to angle D. Now let us talk about third property. Third property is diagonals are equal. It means AC is equal to BD. So the properties of an isosceles trapezium are angle A plus angle D and angle B plus angle C equals 180 degrees. Angle A is equal to angle B, that is the angles on the same base are equal, and angle C is equal to angle D. And third property is diagonals are equal, that is AC is equal to BD. So these are all the properties of an isosceles trapezium. Now let us talk about the properties of kite. So what is a kite? A quadrilateral in which two pairs of adjacent sides are equal is called a kite. So a quadrilateral in which two pairs of adjacent sides are equal is called a kite. The diagram of the kite can be like this. So this is A, B, C and D. Now in the adjoining quadrilateral, AB is equal to BC, that is AB is equal to BC, and AD is equal to CD. So ABCD is a kite. Now let us talk about the properties of kite. The very first property of kite is the diagonals of a kite intersect at right angles. It means AC is perpendicular on BD. It means the diagonals of a kite intersect at right angles. So we can say AC is perpendicular to BD. Second property is angle A is equal to angle C. Angle A is equal to angle C. This complete angle A is equal to complete angle C. Third property is OA is equal to OC. OA is equal to OC. Fourth property is the diagonal BD bisects angle B as well as angle D. So, diagonal BD bisects angle B as well as angle D. Next property is, in this diagram, diagonal BD divides the kite into two congruent triangles. It means triangle ABD, this triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CBD. That is, the diagonal BD divides the kite into two congruent triangles. Therefore, triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CBD, and we have studied in the definition of kite that AB is equal to BC. These are the properties of kite also, which we have studied in the definition. AD is equal to CD. So these are all the properties of kite. Now let us discuss few questions of exercise 3.3. I am going to discuss question number 2. Third part I am discussing. Few figures are given to us and the question says, consider the following parallelograms. Find the values of the unknowns x, y and z. As I told you, I am discussing question number 2, third part. So the diagram of this is, so we are supposed to find the values of unknowns x, y and z. So dear children, you can see clearly in the figure that x is equal to 90 degrees. This angle is 90 degree. So x is equal to 90 degree. The reason being vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles. Now, after that, you can see in this diagram, in this triangle, x plus y plus 30 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. You can write here in the bracket angle sum property of triangle. So in this triangle, sum of all the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So we have added all the angles of this triangle and put it equal to 180 degrees. So we have calculated already x is equal to 90 degree. So it will be 90 plus y plus 30 degrees, that is equal to 180 degrees. So y plus 120 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. So y is equal to 180 degrees minus 120 degrees, that is equal to 60 degrees. So the measurement of x and y we have come to know, we have calculated. X is equal to 90 degrees and y is equal to 60 degrees. Let us talk about now z angle. So what will be the measurement of this z? So angle y is equal to angle z is equal to 60 degrees. The reason being these are alternate interior angles. So We have calculated all the three angles. Angle Y is equal to angle Z is equal to 60 degrees. The reason being, these are alternate interior angles. So I hope, dear children, you have understood question number 2, third part. Let us move to next parts also. Now I am going to discuss question number 9. Question number 9, in this question, the diagram is given to us and we are supposed to find the value of x. Let us, I am making the diagram now. So this is the figure of question number 9. In this figure, RISK, this is, you can see, this is one of the parallelogram, and CLUE is the another parallelogram. You can see here now, CLUE. These are the two parallelograms. We are supposed to find the measurement of this unknown x. Now, as risk is one of the parallelogram, and we know that in a parallelogram, the sum of adjacent angles is supplementary. It means this angle is 120 degrees. So what will be the measurement of this angle? This will be 60 degrees. So we can write like this. In parallelogram, risk, RISK, angle K plus angle S, I am talking about this angle, is equal to 180 degrees because adjacent angles of a parallelogram are supplementary. So angle K is 120 given to us. So 120 plus angle S is equal to 180 degrees. So angle S will be equal to 60 degrees. So this angle S we have calculated as 60 degree. Let us find now this angle. Now, as clue, that is CLUE is another parallelogram, and you can see that this angle is 70 degree, and so this, as this is a parallelogram, so this angle E will also be 70 degrees. So you can write in parallelogram, clue, that is CLUE, angle L is equal to angle E is equal to 70 degrees. Opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. So in this triangle, let us give name to this. This is O. So in this triangle, OES, this angle is 60 degrees. We have calculated. So 60 degrees plus this angle E we have calculated as 70 degrees plus this angle X is equal to 180 degrees. Angle sum property, because we know that in a triangle the sum of all the angles of a triangle equals 180 degrees. So what will be the measurement of X now? So it will be 130 degrees plus X is equal to 180 degrees. So X will be equal to 180 minus 130 degrees, that is equal to 50 degrees. So I hope, dear children, you have understood this question number 9. So it's time to discuss now homework solutions of exercise 3.2. I'm going to discuss question number 1, A part. The diagram is given to us and we are supposed to find the value of X. It is like this. This is X, this is 125 degrees, and this is also 125 degrees. So, dear children, as we know, as we have studied, that sum of all the exterior angles equals 360 degree. So, 125 degrees, this angle, exterior angle, plus 125 degrees plus X is equal to 360 degrees. So 125 degrees plus 125 degrees, it will be 250 degrees plus X is equal to 360 degrees. So X will be equal to 360 degrees minus 250 degrees, that is equal to 110 degrees. So the measurement of this x angle is 110 degrees. Here which property we have used? Exterior angle property. We know that sum of the exterior angles equals 360 degree. So we have used this property in this question number 1a part. Let us discuss now question number 2. Question number 2. Find the measure of each exterior angle of a regular polygon of 9 sides, and second part is 15 sides. I am doing second part wherein the number of sides are 15 given to us, and we know that measure of each exterior angle is equal to 360 degrees divided by number of sides, that is n. So here in this case it will be 360 degrees divided by 15, that will be equal to 24 degrees. So the measurement of each exterior angle when number of sides are 15 equals 24 degrees. And dear children, in question number 3 you are supposed to use the same concept. So I hope you will be able to do this question number 3 also on your own. Now I am going to discuss question number 4. Question number 4 says, how many sides does a regular polygon have if each of its interior angles is 165 degrees? And we know the formula of measurement of each of interior angle. Each interior angle formula is equal to n minus 2 into 180 degrees divided by n, and so this is equal to 165 degrees. So I will be solving it. N minus 2 into 180 degrees divided by n is equal to 165 degrees. This is given to us in the question. So this 180 will be divided by n, so it will be 180 n minus 180 will be multiplied by 2. 180 will be multiplied by n, so it will be 180n minus 180 will be multiplied by 2, so it will be 360 degrees, and this n will be shifted to this side, so it will be 165n. So now placing the like terms on one side, so 180n minus 165n is equal to 360 degrees. So 180 minus 165, it will be 15n is equal to 360 degrees. So what will be the measurement of n? N will be equal to 360 divided by 15. So that will be equal to 24. So you can see each interior angle when it was 165 degrees. So the number of sides as we are supposed to calculate will be 24. Let us see the homework now. From NCERT book, dear children, you are supposed to complete question number 1 to question number 10 of exercise 3.3 in your homework notebooks. I hope, dear children, the concepts which I have taught you in this lecture will help you solve these questions. If you still have doubts, you can clarify your doubts in the online classes. So that's all for today. Thank you so much.